Here's a list of every single RPG I want to play in 2024, why I want to play it in 2024, and maybe you'll find it useful. I don't know. I'm not your dad. Now, it should be no surprise that one of the main games that I would love to play in this next upcoming year is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. It's kind of what I do. Specifically, a fantasy Powered by the Apocalypse game. And no, I'm not being super cheeky and saying Dungeon World. I have played a lot of Dungeon World. I'm talking about Fellowship 2nd Edition.
Actually, Fellowship 2E came out in 2016, you loser.
Here's the thing about this list. Not every single one of these RPGs is coming out in 2024. In fact, most of them are not coming out in 2024. I just want to play them in 2024. One of the ideas that I really like about Fellowship 2nd Edition is that the DM plays a character. And it's not like a DM NPC where there's that NPC that tags along with the party is literally just a self-insert for the DM and just guides everyone on their pre-planned storyline. No, that's stupid. Instead, Fellowship 2nd Edition has the DM play the Overlord. The Overlord is complete with their own moves, and the Overlord is always plotting.
They're schemers.
And it's the party or the Fellowship's job to stop them. One aspect of this system that I really like is that it codifies kind of my style of DMing. Now, if you've seen my previous videos, I'm a big fan of letting the players be experts in what their characters would be experts in. So in Fellowship, the Elven player knows everything about Elven culture, Elven cities. They'll tell you all about Rivendell or Teldrassil, or any of the Elven cities from Warhammer. I'm kind of drawing a blank here. The players take an active part in the world building, which makes the players care about the world more. And a big aspect of this game is doing deeds to save communities in the world to build up power to fight the Overlord, who is the DM. So to all the detractors from my Nobody Cares About Your Campaign video,
suck my balls, man.
But wait a minute, what if my players are assholes?
Just say no!
Another aspect of Fellowship that I think really benefits the system is that there are clearly defined goals. The players spend their time helping communities to gain Fellowship, which helps them level up and get more powerful, while the Overlord tries to find sources of power and stomp out communities because they're a huge dick. I think clearly defined goals like this really helps newcomers to the RPG genre who might be overwhelmed with all of the choice that's available, and it gives them, objectives to tackle. Overall, it seems like this system is the epitome of Dungeon World's play to find out what happens mantra, and it sounds like an incredibly fun game to run. Probably also to play, but I prefer running. Now, the second game on this list is going to be incredibly obvious. It's probably on every single person's 2024 list, even though the game actually comes out in 2025. If you haven't picked up on what I'm talking about, it's the RPG designed by my idol, the man, the myth, the RPG Jesus, Matt Colville, and the MCDM RPG. There's a ton of reasons why I'm super interested in this game. Let's just get the shallow one out of the way. I idolize Matt Colville. I want to run a game just like him. Let's be real. If he sold his used toilet paper, I would probably buy it. I'm also a huge slut for 2d6 based systems, as anyone who watches my videos would know, and I fully support getting rid of misses and making your turn actually matter. I think this is actually one of my favorite things about the MCDM RPG that's going on right now. The discourse in the space is just so entertaining, and the amount of people that take issue with getting rid of, to hit rolls. I think waiting like 20 minutes for your turn, just being bored out of your mind, and then just rolling the d20 and missing, and that's your turn, that sucks. So I really like the ideas that he has in play here of you always hit, it's just a matter of how much damage you do. There's always like another effect that happens on your turn, so it's very tactical and your choices actually matter every single time. I like the way that he's structuring the initiative system where you roll and then either the party goes or the monsters go, and then one party member goes, you guys get to choose, monster goes, another party member, etc., etc. I think it's a really good way of addressing people just zoning out, maybe buying health insurance in the middle of a session. Not that I've ever done that before, because RPG combat's really boring. Also, it has like mechanics for negotiation, all sorts of RP tools. It's Matt Colville, so there's probably gonna be some strongholds and followers in there. All of his supplements are great. Big fan of it. I trust his decisions. I am such a fanboy, bootlicking little shit. Now, while we're on the subject of me being a shallow little bitch, let's go on to another game that I'm really looking forward to in 2024, which is my reasons for liking this are really paper thin, and if I play this system, people are probably gonna be mad because there are probably so many better systems out there. But the artwork for Dragonbane is so good. Free League is known for developing really solid tabletop role-playing games. They like cleaned up at the Ennies or whatever the award is. I have total faith in Free League. Sorry, Joseph, I know you had a bad experience with them, but it looks dope. I also like that they switch up the classes in this game. So of course you have like fighter, mage, thief, whatever, but you also have artisan and merchant, mariner, and scholar. That's sort of like what the Witcher RPG does, which I haven't played, but I probably should because I love the Witcher. I like the idea of having these like mundane classes and seeing what sort of adventures and tomfoolery they get up to. Also, Dragonbane is based on a TTRPG from the 80s in Sweden, so old crusty boomers can be happy because is any design really changing? No, it's old school, so you can be happy as you yell at kids to get off your lawn. Dragonbane utilizes this super weird card system for tracking initiative. It's like you have a card and you like place it face up to see where your turn is, but you can like parry and dodge attacks, which then means like kind of giving up your turn. Also, I feel like Free League games are just better when played in person. I feel like this isn't going to translate really well to playing online, and most of the time I play online. So if I can find some friends IRL who want to play this, I think it'd be a great time. Speaking of games that I think would be really fun IRL and Free League, we gotta talk about Forbidden Lands. Now, I actually talked about Forbidden Lands in more depth in my video last year. I still haven't played it, even though I went out and bought a box set. What I really like about it is that it utilizes rolling a ton of dice. And as I have learned by playing HeroScape, I like rolling a lot of dice. I am simple man. I talk about this more in depth in the video that I did last year, so click here. I know that seems like a stupid YouTuber-y thing, but I don't know if my thing is flipped. I should know by now, but whatever. Let's move on. Also, another reason why I'd love to play this game is that I'm a sucker for systems where death is like actually on the line. And while I've read that Forbidden Lands isn't like more core level of meat grinder, you can die, and sometimes from really mundane things. It also utilizes low magic, which I'm a big fan of, and it has settlement building, and I am a huge slut for settlement building. Now, before someone who needs to go touch grass tells me that I'm only including fantasy on this list, I like fantasy games. Off. I have to include something from another genre. And that's why I would love to play in the year of our Lord 2024 Urban Shadows 2nd Edition. This is political urban fantasy where werewolves, vampires, ghosts, wizards, and all sorts of spooky things vie for political control of the city. Sign me the up. The game includes 4 main factions that all have like their own internal politics and external politics. The Mortals, which are like monster hunters, just people like you and me who've transcended into the supernatural, get a glimpse into it. Sam and Dean Winchester. Or maybe they're trying to use the power of the monsters to gain their own power. There's the Night, which are your classic sort of gothic horror monsters like vampires and werewolves and ghosts. Woo! It's officially listed as people who have given up their mortal coil permanently and have become something monstrous. Then there's Power, which are like wizards and oracles and other sorts of immortals. These are people who, through either being cursed or blessed or just a lot of training, have gained a lot of power. But these aren't like vampires or werewolves. So it's like the wizard, not the sorcerer from 5th edition. Then the final faction is Wild, which are like fairies and demons that come from another world. And they're now in our world, just hanging out. Now, something that's really cool is that Urban Shadows says that it's all about schemes and political plotting and blah, blah, blah. And it actually backs it up with mechanics that reflect this. In other words, this is like Powered by the Apocalypse Vampire the Masquerade. Did I mention this is Powered by the Apocalypse? It's Powered by the Apocalypse. Of course it's Powered by the Apocalypse. It's made by Magpie, and Magpie games are like the people when it comes to Powered by the Apocalypse. They made Masks, which is like the only game in the Powered by the Apocalypse space that everyone in the Powered by the Apocalypse space agrees is like pinnacle Powered by the Apocalypse. Every other Powered by the Apocalypse game is fake Powered by the Apocalypse, including Urban Shadows. Now, I've been talking a lot of smack about D&D 5e, but that's actually one of the games that I want to play this year.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing.
I don't know about you, but I haven't actually played 5th edition in almost 3 years. And I think it's super easy to get lost in the like, fuck D&D, indie RPGs are this shit, man, like rabbit hole, and just not do any sort of critical thinking of why don't we like D&D. Obviously, Hasbro and Wizards are like super up companies that do messed up things. But besides that, in terms of the actual game mechanics, that old Mike Mearls, controversial Mike Mearls, recently fired Mike Mearls, designed like 10 years ago. So at some point in the next year, I'd love to just take a moment, roll up to a game store, do Adventures League, have a terrible time because Adventures League is awful and I've never had a good experience doing it, but at least gain a grasp on why D&D sucks. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. And the final game that I want to play in 2024 is Morkborg, because it's awesome. Do I need another explanation? It's fantastic. Look at my other videos on it. Morkborg is freaking sweet. I want to play more of it. Now, I could be super disingenuous and add a bunch more indie RPGs to this list and sound super cool and like I know what I'm doing, like I'm an actual like real life RPG YouTuber who plays lots of games and only plays RPGs in his spare time. But that would be a lie. If we're being honest, I'm gonna play like maybe 2 of these. Typically, I only play RPGs about once a week, and when I do, I play Dungeon World because it scratches the itch for me. It does what I need it to do, and I'm not really looking to expand beyond that. That's called having other hobbies and doing stuff. But that is the topic of another video. Now, if you made it past that little mini rant in this video and you're wondering, damn, I wish he included more RPGs, you should click here, wherever, to look at the video that I did last year where I tell you about RPGs that aren't D&D that I think you should play, and I haven't played most of them. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and oh, I did the order wrong. Blah!